Hi, and welcome back to another fun painting with brush tips. So today we are going to be doing this ocean scene. It's kind of tricky, but I know that you can do it, so don't worry. I'm going to take you through every step. I'm going to move a little bit quick because it does take a little bit of time to do that background. So we're going to start out with 3 brushes. We have the Big Daddy brush right here. We have a round pointed one, and then we have more of like a flatter angled brush, not angled, but rounded brush. If you can see at the top, it's a little bit more rounded. And this is going to be to do like the dash marks on it. I did use a smaller round brush for that one, but for time purposes, I am going to use a bigger round one here. My suggestion would be to find one that's rounded like this one, just smaller, maybe this size. Let me show you one. This size right here, and you can get that in a round top, okay? Maybe we'll play around with that one too, we'll see. So the first thing that I did was, oh, I gotta tell you the colors. Oh my gosh, we almost forgot. All right, drop that in there. So our colors today, white, yellow, I did an orange and a red, okay, and 2 different colored blues, and then I did like a purple and a neon pink. You don't have to use all these colors if you don't want to, so don't feel obligated. You get to pick your own. So first thing I'm going to do is just make sure my brush is nice and wet, and I'm going to touch my paper towel with it, get it all dried back up. I know, it's weird, isn't it, to dry it, wet it, and then dry it. I'm going to grab some yellow and some white and just mix those together on the side here. Then I'm going to pick where I want to put my yellow. So this is going to be my like horizon line here. And I'm going to do yellow all through here and up here. When I get to my sides, I'm going to hit the sides too. Now I put this base background on just to make my painting a little bit easier and go a little bit faster when I am doing these like dash marks. Then I'm going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. Okay. And same thing here. Just throw that yellow on wherever you want it. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a little orange. You can add it in with your yellow just to help dull it down a little bit because we don't need it super bright. I'm just going to softly run it through here. This is where I'm probably going to put orange. That's why I'm putting it there. If you don't put orange there, it's okay. The dash marks are going to cover it up. Like I said, we're just putting this on as like a quick base. So same thing, just throw some here. And add some here. I'm kind of trying to match up the oranges with the orange, like where the orange is. Just kind of hit it at an angle too. This is where the sun is going to go. I'll put like a little pretend one there for right now. It's not a very good circle. So this is going to be where our sun's going to kind of go, okay? So just imagine like your sun is going this way with your paint. We'll mark it like that. So this part right here is going to kind of land right here, okay? Then hit this here. Well, let's get rid of that little line there. Same thing here. Run that, just dust that back over. I'm just going to grab a little bit of yellow again, just throw it over here, get rid of that fake little sun that we made, okay? All right, so we kind of have it going at an angle. Let me add a little bit of orange here because we are actually going to come in with some pink in a second. All I did was oranges and yellows and blues. Then when I came in and started to do the details with the pinks and stuff, that's when I kind of switched it up. You don't have to put the pinks in the background unless you want to. If you're feeling like, yes, I need to have the little bit of purple in the background, you can throw that on there if you're more comfortable. Or, you know, you want a little bit of pink in there, you can throw your pink just so that you know kind of where you want to put it on your canvas. My suggestion would be to wait until the orange dries to start adding your purple in. It's okay in this case, but in real life, not TV life, in real life, it would make it a little bit muddy looking. So we don't want to add too much of the orange with the purple. So over here, I will just add a little bit of this pink over here because there is a lot of pink over here, so we'll just add that here. It'll be great. Look, everything's perfect. Okay, so you're gonna kind of let this dry a little bit. You know, go get a cup of coffee, maybe let the dog out, feed the cat. I don't know. Do something, let it dry a little bit. Grab a blow dryer if you're impatient, like me sometimes. I just go and grab a blow dryer and I just blow dry it. I was looking at I was just looking out in space over here. All right, so I'm gonna come in very, very lightly with my paint, with my blue paint. I have two different colored blues here. I just kind of throw them together. Because like I said, this part, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to use it to go over, or to be underneath our base. This is our base, our underneath base. I probably should have pre-painted this, but I didn't want you to miss this step. Okay, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it does get a little muddy because it's not dry all the way, like here, who cares? You're not going to really see it. We're just using it as a base. Go like this. Now I do like to go with a little bit more blues right along my horizon line because I want it to separate. I want you to be able to tell, like, this is the water, this is the sky. Now mine probably is a little bit crooked just on here because I'm not right in front of it. I'm painting to the side. You can hit your sides and your tops as well. Just gonna throw all this on here. Let me wet this brush a little bit. This one I started doing the other night. I was like, I want to do one where it's like kind of like a starry night one. I wanted to do like the actual stars here, and then I ended up just doing it like this, and I thought, okay, I guess it's a daytime scene. I guess it's not starry night. I guess it's bright day. So I thought, well, I guess I'll add a sailboat in there, and I wanted it to be a little bit more like summery and bright, but it didn't go that way. Okay. So as this is drying, I'm going to hit my bottom really quick, just so you see that we should paint the bottom as well. Probably not going to do it all the way for time purposes. Drop that brush inside of my cup just because I'm not going to use it again right now. So just put it in there, let it dry, or let it stay wet. We're going to grab this big one. We'll use the little one too, but let's just get this base on with the big one, okay? So I'm gonna take some yellow and some white again, and I'm just gonna start making dash marks, okay? I did use a lot of white in this, but it's okay. When you get to the orange part, you can start kind of throwing in some orange. And again, this is just like a quick little base coat. We can come in with a smaller brush later. Quick dash marks. Okay. Now this might take you a while. If you end up taking a couple days doing this, that's okay. Come away, you know, get away from it, come back, whatever you want to do. I'm going to add a little white in with that yellow and orange. Just kind of fill in over here. There's no pattern. So those of you who need a pattern, there's no pattern. Throw your pattern out the window. Don't stress out if you start to notice that you're going into a pattern. It's okay. Nobody is going to hate your painting. They're all going to absolutely love it. This is just such a fun painting. That nobody can really resist, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you did that? That's so great. It looks wonderful. And if they don't, then tell them they got to go. Don't let them hang out for coffee. I'm just kidding. Nobody ever says that. The other night I was painting this, and it's funny, I had a local artist come into my one shop, and his name is Papillon, and he is a fashion designer, was a fashion designer, is a fashion designer, but retired. He's pretty fun, really nice guy in his mid-70s-ish. And he just paints and paints and paints and paints and paints. And because we have the fun art, not the fine art, he was like, your painting is so like there. It's just there. And I'm like, well, these aren't really my paintings. These are paintings that we teach people, simple things, fun things, you know. And he's like, yeah, but where are you? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Where am I? This is what I do. He said, where are you when you paint? And I'm like, here in the studio. He's like, no, you're not in your painting. You're not in your painting. You're not meeting the people in your painting. You're not imagining yourself in your painting. You're not working with your painting. All you're doing is creating a staple of the other piece. There's no passion in it. You're not in it. And I was like, ew, why are you telling me that? And I thought, it's so true. It's so true. I never really get into my painting. He's like, go in there, talk to the characters, talk to the people in your painting, figure out who they are and what they love, and just know who you're dealing with when you're painting. So I thought, okay. I started doing that, and I thought, when I'm on a ship, or not a ship, I would never be on a ship. I'd probably be on a cruise ship, so I guess I would. But I thought, where would I be? Like, what would I be doing? Would I just be sitting there, maybe watching the water, watching the sunset? What would it be like if I was in this painting and the sky was just all of these dash marks? Would I be quiet? Would I just watch? Would there be fish? Like, what would it look like? So I just imagined myself just hanging out, looking at the sky, and it probably took me a few hours just to play around with that. I'm taking some darker orange and a little bit of red up here and just kind of putting that in. You see how many times I've put paint on my brush? Not a lot. Okay. You see how the dash marks are starting to come along? We're doing good here. Grab some more of that yellow-orange mix. Let's throw this on here. This is definitely a fun little painting. Switch your brush around if you want. Oh, threw too much orange in there. That's okay. I'm just going to go right back over it with the yellow. Perfect. See how fast I'm just getting this on here? You can do that too. I like to keep that little light. You can see it's just so tiny, tiny, tiny light color I'll add a little bit more in there of the blues, but right now I just want to cover up that blue just a hair. We still want to see the line, we just don't want it to be too dark. Okay, so if you have your orange on and your yellow on and you love it, which I didn't even do over here, oh my gosh, what the heck. Okay. Okay, there we go. Keep going, get some of that paint off there. Let's do this here. Just want to kind of fill this in a little bit. I took a little bit more white here, and that's okay. I just want it to, I don't want to see so much of the blue around there, but I do want a little. It was kind of greenish, a little more muddy than what I wanted it to be. So I'm just going to let that dry. Okay. Grab a little bit more orange here. And again, you don't have to apply a lot of pressure. A little bit of pressure goes a long way. And again, you see how much I'm not changing my colors too much on my brush. Just kind of pulling from all angles here. Flip it to the other side because I have a couple little extras. Perfect. Good, good. We're doing good. We're doing good. You're following along great. You can let this dry if you want in between. I'm just going to rinse that brush off because I'm going to go into my blues. So I'm going to start with this green or turquoise color, grab some white, and just brighten this up a little bit. Okay. Oop, I just got yellow on my brush, that's okay. I'm gonna start to mix a little bit of the darker blue with it. Bring it over here. Just bump this like that. Perfect. I'll let this part dry a little bit while I come down here and work. I'm gonna do that same thing. I grabbed a little darker this time, and that's okay. We want it to look different because we're trying to make the water and the sky two different things. Because it does go in the same pattern right now, that's why we want to separate it. I'm going to go dark. Darker down here. You can always come in with the light if you don't like it this dark. Okay. Let this dry, come up here. Let it dry. Use a blow dryer. Or you can just let it sit. Totally up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this because nobody is watching. Well, maybe you have people watching you. I don't know. Maybe you have people watching like I do. One time this girl messed up my hair, and you know what she told me? Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like except for me and you. So, if you mess up, nobody knows what it's supposed to look like except for me and you. So I'm gonna throw just a little dark through here, throw a couple little dark spots through here. As long as it's dry, it's not gonna make a muddy mark. Go a little darker here. Okay. Good. What are you thinking? Thinking this is looking good? I'm going to switch that small brush just so I can show you the difference, okay? So I'm going to take some white. I'm just going to mix it in with some of this lighter blue over here and just start doing some white light dashes. Smaller, more square is what that would look like if you wanted to do that, okay? Kind of spread this guy out a little. Do that same thing here. I'm going to grab some of this turquoise color and just start bringing some of this into here. Okay. Super soft. Just going super light. There's no reason to go super heavy. So this over here in there is all yellow. This is not blue in there. So I'm going to move my boat over to here, okay? When we go to put the boat on. I'm just going to add a little here. A little bit here. We're going to go back over it again with the yellow just because I don't want this to show a lot. Unless you want it to show a lot, you can make it show a lot. It's totally up to you. Okay? I'm going to do a couple little dash marks here, just soften it up. Okay, I'm going to rinse, and come back in with the yellows and the whites and the orange, okay? Oh, and the purple. We have purple. Let's get some purple in there and some pink. You can even take some of the orange and mix it with this pink color here, and it would look really pretty too. So I'm just going to add some pinks in here. And you know, when you're doing this at home, you're going to let it dry in between, so it's going to look great. But if you ever needed help, you could always contact us. We have email, Brush Tips. Just Google it. You could find us there, and we can always help you answer any questions or whatever. I think at the end too of the show it kind of shows the info. I don't remember if it's there or not, but if not, you know where to find us. Social media. And we love seeing everyone's paintings. We'll actually post them on our Facebook page. If you send us a painting of one that you've done from our show, we love posting them. So I added some purples in here. I'm going to rinse my brush again. Then we're going to play around with the boat. My suggestion would be don't finish here. Finish your background up. Finish adding some different layers if you want. Different colors. Kind of come in. Make it however you choose, okay? When we go to connect the water and the wave again, remember I said we're going to go back over that with some yellow. See how that just brightens that right back up again? You still see the water line where it's showing that this is the water and this is the sky. I'm going to add a little bit more over here, because I want this to look more like it was intentionally sky, right? Okay, I'm going to put my sunshine, which is now going to go right here. Okay, I have a little tiny purple in my brush, but I'm just going to set that there and I'm just going to let it dry right on the horizon line, okay? Rinse my brush. Let's see. Let me make this a little bit more white, just for show purpose. Yep. Let that dry a second while we do the boat. Oh my goodness, the boat is black and I didn't put any black. Let me put a little bit of black. We have about 2 minutes. You're just going to do a shape of a boat. The boat that I like to do, I like to go at an angle like this in an angle like this. Then I come across here. Oop, my boat line is not straight. I fill this guy in. So fill this guy in. I do the stick, the mass. Then I go like that. See how I did that? Then I come along here and go like that. This is going to give it that flowing look. But you don't want the flowing look right here, so just go straight across. Then you're going to fill this all in with black or whatever color you choose. Okay. I do like to add a little bit of white to mine to help it look like it's a little shadowed. You could add a little bit of yellow if you wanted to give it some shading in there. Now the most important part here is to actually come in, here's my white, okay, to actually come in and put a couple little dash marks to bury your guy again, your little boat. I just grabbed some of that yellow again, and look, I just buried him. So now he looks like he's in the water, right? We want him to look like he's in the water. We don't want him floating on the water. Add a little bit of shading here, here, here. And then we get to sign our name, okay? You can color this guy in a little bit more if you wanted to. I still have a little bit of black on my brush, but you could color in your sun all the way a little bit more so that it's a little bit more prominent. Grab some white. Own your painting when you're all finished. And boom, just like that, you have an amazing sunset. Enjoy your painting, and thanks for watching.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.